Hey guys, what are we playing? What a man. What a man. We're about to talk to a man that Salt and Pepper would be proud to know. Alright, hi guys. So good to see my 9 million followers here with me on this lovely Tuesday afternoon prior to Thanksgiving, when we're all a little bit nutty. I am about to bring on a really interesting man. I'm going to give you a little bio on him now. So I will bring Paul in, if I know how to do this. I'm adding Paul, and voila, he's coming on right now. There he is.
Hello.
I don't see you. There you are. All right, yeah. Hello, Mr. Zweben.
That would be me, dear. How are you?
I am very well. I'm taking it off. Just a little fun while we start. Thank you very much for your time on this busy week. So I'm just a little intro for the 9 million followers that are here right now. If you don't know who Paul is, he is a friend, but he's a fellow CIA graduate, a well-respected chef and restaurant owner who has transitioned into the world of real estate. Together with wife Caroline, they are part of the Zweben team at Douglas Elliman. If that wasn't enough, he's a father of two, on the go 24/7. He's creator of Hungry Domain, a blog about food, real estate, life, and other things. And he's got a true whatever it takes attitude. And in these crazy times, I thought it would be fun to have someone on that really inspires me, always teaches me, and makes me laugh. So welcome.
Thank you.
So very quickly, since we're all busy today and for the Thanksgiving week, first question for you, Mr. Zweben. What are the interchangeable qualities that you have in both the chef world and the real estate world? And what drew you to leave the restaurant world and move into the real estate world?
So when I was a chef, I used to serve food, and food could go bad. And if I didn't know my stuff, I was fired. Now I sell real estate. Real estate can go bad. And if I don't know my stuff, I can get fired.
Oh, bummer.
I mean, it's the same business. It's like,
Yeah.
I used to kiss babies in the restaurant business, and now I kiss babies in the real estate business. But it's really about, when I cooked, there was passion, and when I saw real estate, there's the same passion. It's a little bit different. Like the highs you get when you're in service and you're just getting slammed.
That rush.
I would say it's akin to when you're doing a deal and it finally comes together. That's where they're about the same. And the reason I left the restaurant business was I had opened about 9 or 10 restaurants, and we opened a restaurant called BLT Steak in DC. And I was working there 6 days a week, flying home to see Carolyn, every Sunday. I was there for about 6 months, and I would see her for like a few hours on Sunday, and then I'd fall asleep. And one day I checked out of this hotel in DC, and the next Monday, so I checked out on Sunday, checked back in on Monday, and it was the same woman behind the counter. And she's like, "Didn't you just check out yesterday?" And I was just like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. And I was 42 years old. I came home. My wife had been a real estate broker for about 7 years. And I was like, I hit the wall. And she was like, "You've been buying and selling real estate since you're in your 20s. You listen to every one of my deals on the phone. Why don't you be my partner?" And that was it.
That was a done deal.
Done deal.
Yeah.
I don't know if she would do that again, but that was
well, we're not going to bring her
No.
on, so we don't need to find that
No,
out.
no.
So in these crazy times, of many things, but if we focus on real estate for a moment, which I know nothing about, what are the two best tips that you could tell a buyer and a seller?
So for a seller, you don't want to have any aspirational pricing right now. I mean, if I tell you it's worth $2 million and you say to me, you know what, let's try 2.3, that's aspirational. And all it's going to do is just sit on the market and sit on the market. And then all of a sudden it's 5 months later and you're like, what are you doing, Paul? This is ridiculous. It's because the price was aspirational. You want that price to be compelling, on the money, so it sells. So that's for the seller. For the buyer, and this is really important, we don't talk about mortgage rates. We know that they've jumped significantly. What we say is, what are you comfortable monthly paying? So between maintenance and mortgage, or common charges, taxes, and mortgage.
What's your cap?
Right.
Yeah.
And when they tell us that, that's what we use as a model to find them the right apartment. And then hopefully at some point when interest rates go down, you refinance.
Yeah. I'm sure that you have had a lot of people that have had a lot of agita with the mortgage rates that have, I mean, are they 7.5 now?
They're in the sevens, yeah.
Yeah. So I bought mine at 10 years ago at 3.5.
Right.
I got lucky.
Yeah.
But I believe, and you probably know, they will go back down.
Yeah,
So
eventually. But,
eventually.
you know, and the other thing for the buyer is, like, you're not just buying your home as an investment, you're buying it as a place to live.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you got to look at it that way also. It's like you fall in love with an apartment or a house, you know, on the Upper East Side, Upper West Side, whatever. Yes, you want to make money on it, but if it's close to the schools or close to the park, and in 10 years you end up selling it and either you made a couple bucks or you lost a couple bucks, I just don't think that's such a big deal.
Yeah. That's not the measurement. The measurement is the quality of life
Correct.
that you have in your home. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. Morning rituals and routines are a really big thing for me. And I believe they are for you. So can you map out and I believe they really map out the day, I mean, how your day will be. Can you tell us or share whatever you're comfortable with around your morning ritual or routine and tell us about that 5 a.m. call?
Sure. So I wake up religiously 7 days a week between 4 and 4:45 every day. If I have a late night, I need an alarm, but usually I don't need an alarm clock at all. And then 6 days a week, I am on, it's called the 5 a.m. Club. And it's about 2,400 entrepreneurs, mostly real estate agents, but there's lawyers and doctors and financial planners on there too. And everyone is muted except for one person. And that one person has like 5-6 minutes to talk about whatever they want. And it's sort of like, you know, that first cup of coffee in the day where you're like, wow, that person thought about what they were going to say. It was incredibly impactful. I'm not the only one with this stuff going through my head. And let's get this day going. So 5 a.m. call, usually either before that or after that, I take our dog Rudy for a walk. We go to Dunkin' Donuts. I get coffee, come back, and then I go to the gym at 5:30 in the morning. There you go. I even know which one you went to. 5:30 in the morning.
My people, I love them.
I know. I go to the gym from 5:30 to 6 a.m. 3 to 4 times a week. Tuesday and Thursdays at 5:30 a.m. I do street fighting with a trainer in front of my building. And then on Fridays in the mornings around 9 or 10, I box for an hour down at a gym called the Dog Pound. So
wait, in front of your building, like on the street?
Yeah.
At 5:30 in the morning? Is there anyone there?
People walk by me with their dogs and they're like, oh, look who it is. It's the crazy man. Because my trainer's not there. He's on my phone. So I'm doing shadow boxing.
Oh my God, you're doing it on your phone.
Yeah.
Cuckoo. I'm sure they can call 911.
Oh, yeah. But that's how my day gets going. And then, you know, I make the kids breakfast and then take them to school. And I'm usually in the office by 8:30 in the morning, you know, Monday through Friday. Saturdays, I try not to work. And then Sundays, we work all day.
Yeah. Wow. I'm sure you do more between 4:30 and 5 and 8:30 than the majority of people on your block.
100%.
So what time do you go to bed? 8, 9?
I definitely like my leather chair, and I definitely fall asleep on it a lot. But I would say I go to bed between 9:30 and 10.
Okay. All right, that's cool. I love
Yeah.
it. All right, Thanksgiving is coming. You're a chef. What is the best tip for Thanksgiving for two types of people? One, the nervous Nelly that's hosting for the first time, and two, the king of the kitchen who's like, I got it, and they probably don't.
King of the kitchen and Nervous Nelly, you want to start prepping tonight, tomorrow, and Thursday. So like tonight I am going to roast off all the turkey bones, my mirepoix, until they're nice and brown, everything. Then I'm going to take everything out.
Translate mirepoix for the non-chef.
Chopped carrots, onions, and celery.
There you go.
And then I'm going to take everything out, let it cool, and then either, chop it up or put it in Ziploc bags so we have enough room in the fridge. And then tomorrow I'm going to make the turkey stock for a couple hours with, more mirepoix, more carrots, onions, and celery, plus the roasted vegetables, plus the roasted bones and water. Then take all that stuff out, reduce that liquid down by 2/3, and then that'll be the base for our stuffing and for our gravy. And then for the sorry, go ahead.
No, for the nervous Nelly that's never done it before.
I mean, Nervous Nelly, I honestly, there's so many good quality products out there that you can buy. Like, I would buy 3 of the side dishes, from Cinderella or from Fairway, whatever you like, and then just concentrate on the turkey and the gravy, and then you're a superstar.
What, are you a briner or no?
No.
Oh, you're not?
No.
I'm dry brining. So I host once every 10 years. That's all I can handle.
Right.
And I started Monday.
Right.
And I have lists all over my kitchen wall. I luckily have an 89-year-old neighbor who has nothing in his fridge or oven. So I've taken it over.
Nice.
But how do you, the one thing that I always am like, is pulling it all together, the final half hour. Like my brother will carve the turkey. I think I have five sides or 6 sides. So it's like pulling all of that into containers and on the table.
So, I mean, basically, as long as everyone leaves me alone in the kitchen, Carolyn will come into the kitchen with bowls and spoons, and I'm like, all right, mashed potatoes goes in here, gravy goes in here, cranberry sauce goes in here, vegetables go in here. Now I'm going to cut the turkey, have everybody sit down.
All right. Do you do dishes?
I actually like doing dishes, and I also like folding laundry. So, yes, I do dishes.
On Thanksgiving?
No,
I'm not doing any dishes.
No.
Okay, I'm not doing any dishes on Thanksgiving.
I'm not doing any dishes on Thursday.
No.
Nothing.
No. All right. High five. All right. So we've got 15 minutes, and I've got like a little round robin. And if you want to throw in anything on the 9 million followers, if you have a question, let us know. Dinner party, 3 people, dead or alive. Who would you have?
Who would I have? I'd have Frank Sr. from Rayo's, me, and my wife. And Frank has died.
Oh, okay. Who inspires you?
Oh my God. My wife, my business coaches, my team, my competitors, and my colleagues.
Pretty good. Any advice for a young chef getting into the industry now? It's very different than when we got into it. What are the 3 best tips for them?
Work with top quality chefs. Don't work in just one kitchen, like do 1 year, like do 3 years in 3 different kitchens. And if you don't absolutely love it, get another career.
Ain't that the truth? If you hadn't been a chef or real estate agent, what other profession would you have done?
I think I would have been a photographer.
Really?
Yeah, I love photos. Love.
Wow.
Especially old photos.
Wow. Have you ever like taken a camera and just gone, you have no time?
I mean, I did, when I was a kid, but like we sold this townhouse a couple years ago on 95th Street, and the guy's last name was Wertheimer, and he was this very famous photographer. And basically he got a gig to shoot Elvis when Elvis was 18 years old for 2 weeks before he was even famous. And this 2-week gig catapulted his career for the next 50 years. And I remember looking at the photos in this building, it was an estate. And I was just like, they were so, like, the guy was a beautiful, handsome dude.
Oh,
and the
Elvis?
biggest,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
the biggest mistake that we did was I should have made a deal and had one of the photos put in as our commission, a piece of our commission. And I didn't. I know. I didn't
And your
do it.
wife didn't say, oh, you like do that one.
Yeah, but
Were they beautiful? How many were there? Were there a ton of them?
there were like 15, but there was like one of him in like a wife beater in a diner, an outdoor diner with two guys drinking Pepsis.
And he
And
probably looked great.
Yeah.
He wasn't fat. He wasn't,
right.
I mean,
No,
he was
amazing
beautiful
photos.
man.
Yeah,
Wow.
amazing photos.
Do you ever have time to like go down to ICP or anything?
No.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Oh, I love this. Best lesson that Parker has taught you and that Olivia has taught you.
Oh boy.
That'll be good.
Whatever I say, they say. So I have to be very careful because I curse like a fisherman.
Oh shit.
And the other thing is, both of them have taught me, and I need to get better at it, is patience. Because little kids can push your buttons, and I have chef blood in me, and it's like,
Firing.
right.
Firing.
I'll like fire them. I'm like, you're fired. Like, so those are the two things.
That's incredible. Well, we have 8 minutes. Go wherever you want to go. Tell me whatever you want to talk about. It's your world for 8 minutes.
So
or 5 or 3.
So I basically I took home ec in Bloomfield, New Jersey when I was a kid. And I came from a split family, and I was very, very angry. I was really an angry kid. And I loved cooking, and we did this career study in 7th grade, and I wanted to get a job or a career where I didn't have to be with my family, because that's how angry I was. And I was like, I'm going to be a chef. And I chose photography and cooking. And I remember going to my Jewish grandmother, who was like 4'10". Her hearing aid was this big. And I was like, Grandma, right. And I'm like, Grandma, I'm going to be a chef. And she literally like drops her cooking pans on the floor, and she's like screaming at me. And she's like, you should have been a doctor or a lawyer. And I was like, that's not what I want to do. But her anger made me go, you know what? I'm going to show her what I can do. So I was an apprentice baker in Bloomfield, New Jersey for 3 years. I worked from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. and then went directly to school. I smelled like a donut. Then after school, I worked in a restaurant on Route 46 called the Sandalwood Restaurant. Then I went to the CIA. Then I went to Florida International University. Then I came and worked at a big hotel in Morristown, New Jersey, because I went to see a headhunter, and he sort of like flim-flammed me. He was like, this hotel is like a New York City hotel, but it's in Jersey. And I bid it.
You fell for it. You were
And
there.
then
It was
that
mid-1980?
Yeah. 85,
Okay.
86, 87.
Okay.
And then I was like, I got to go into the city. So I had this card from a teacher at school, and it said, call Mark Sarazin, who owned DeBragger and Spittler. So
he knew everyone.
He was the godfather.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's like D'Artagnan. They know everyone.
Right. And, Mark had this was like this unwritten rule. You go meet him, he gets you a job, you buy meat from him someday. That was the unwritten rule.
The deal.
Right.
Yeah.
So I go to see him, and I'm in this like cheap, Sears suit, and my portfolio that's, got plastic on it. And
portfolio.
Yes. So I sit down with him, and he's a big guy. He was like 6'4", and he goes, so what chef have you worked for? I said, well, I worked for the chef at the Breakers. He's like, okay, what chefs have you worked for? I'm like, well, I worked for the chef at the Grand Bay Hotel in Coconut Grove. He's like, okay, what chefs did you work for? I'm like, well, I worked for this great pastry chef in New Jersey. And he's like, what's his name? I'm like, Louis Ferragamo, whatever. He's like, Paul, you've never worked with a chef in your life. And he basically took 8 years of my life and flushed it down the toilet. And he goes, and he took a little piece of paper out. He goes, go over the Brooklyn Bridge, go see David Burke at the River Cafe. Maybe he'll give you a job. And that was life changing. David hired me. I made $8.
Did he hire you right away?
I started the next day.
Okay.
$8.75 an hour.
Oh my God. 1985, 1987.
No, 80. I started in 88.
$8?
$8.75.
How many hours a day?
Well, we worked 5 days a week, but we had one double. The double was 7 a.m. to 1 a.m. No breaks. No breaks.
Yeah, and what were you turning potatoes the whole time?
No, I worked. I was a tournant, so I worked all the different stations.
Right
And
away, that was your first job in tournant? Wow.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
No, but honestly, if I could have done it for free, I would have.
So what did you learn? I never worked for David. We did different directions. I think he went more French after me. But what were the things that he still you think about today?
He taught me how to not treat people for a very long time.
How to not treat people. Oh, okay.
He taught me how to handle pressure like I've never seen before. I mean, that restaurant was insane when I worked there.
What did you do? 1,000 people a day?
No, I think we did like 350. So we did like 2 seatings of 180 each.
Lunch.
But
you did lunch and dinner there, didn't you?
Yeah. So we probably did 500 a day, but it was nuts.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing about the River Cafe was this camaraderie. I mean, I have 4 guys that we talk to each other every day. And
I love that.
That's 33 years ago.
I love that.
Yeah.
And you're probably all out of the industry, right?
No. 2 of them are chefs. I'm sorry. 2 of them are chefs. One of them is a chef/manager.
In New
and one of them
York?
No. One is a chef in the Bronx. One's a chef in Maryland. One is a chef/manager for one of the big corporations in the city. And one is a vegetable purveyor in Ohio.
One of the things that we'll wrap up with you, but one of the things that for me, Anthony Bourdain's Kitchen Confidential did for me and probably for you, it can finally explain to people who are not in the F&B industry what that life is like.
Oh, yeah.
It is not, you can't describe it, but he nailed it in the book.
Right.
It is wacky, and especially for a woman, it is wacky. You have no social life. You work a million hours. You are more passionate. You live and breathe food while you're sleeping. You're thinking of recipes. Your fingernails are always worn down. You're covered in burns. You don't give a shit how you look because all you care about is getting back on the line. It is a hunger and a drive that I'm so happy that I did it and that it's still in me. But that book was everything. And Anthony, he was everything. I interviewed with him at Leol. I nearly with Kusha.
Right.
And it was the best interview I had. I didn't get the job, but I wanted to hang out with him all day. So.
Yeah. No. I mean, the one thing I will say about the restaurant industry, and I don't think it's like this in the real estate industry, but there's a fraternity in the restaurant business. It's like there's guys I worked with 30 and 40 years ago that if I was in trouble, they would be at my house 2 minutes later.
Yeah.
And in the real estate industry, that's not the case. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying that, but no, you are a family. And like anyone who's in the restaurant industry, whether I worked at Arcadia or going to American Place, you do it for the time period that you do it. A year is good if you're moving up, then you hang out more. But you're thicker than anything, where you live with the people more than you live with your partner.
Totally.
You live and breathe. You talk, your gutter mouth, truck driver mouth. but they're a good drive and a passion and a I got your back. Like I don't think any other industry has.
No,
I really
no way.
don't.
I agree. I totally agree.
So I'm really honored, and I think that definitely, probably for you and for me and anyone else that's in the chef world, it becomes part of
Oh,
you. So as you navigate through your life and you grow up, that is something that's really integral for you as a
oh yeah.
person. Yeah,
Yep. It's how I
yeah,
work. I mean, I have a chef's work ethic.
yeah. Well, and I'm sure you carry that into the real
Oh
estate
yeah,
industry. So
100%.
I am so grateful for you and your time
Thank
and
you.
this little quick chat.
Okay.
Give my love to your family. Have a
I will.
great Thanksgiving. I will pray for you if you pray for me.
I will. All right,
Two
honey.
turkeys and I'm brining them.
Cool.
But thank you,
You're welcome.
until we meet again.
Okay. Bye.
All right, bye.
Bye.
All right, he's gonna hang up. He's gonna hang up. He didn't hang up. Maybe I removed him. Uh, nope. Okay. Well, I'm gonna just wrap up. He should be going, but I don't know how to remove him, and he's meant to hang up, but whatever. Anyway, that was a really good chat. For anyone who didn't hear it, you can go rewind it when I post it. Paul Zweben, phenomenal man, father, hard worker, brilliant attitude. There, he's gone. We know each other from the chef world. He was a chef, I was a chef, but you never are not a chef, you're always a chef. And now he's a real estate broker and with Douglas Elliman. He and his wife are part of the Zweben team. They are crushing it. It is a very challenging time around the country for real estate, but they are incredible. They are such lovely people. They're hard workers. They will fight for you. If you want a broker, they're the ones to get. If you're buying or selling in New York, or I think they do outside of the city too, don't quote me, just find them on here and they will let you know where their properties are. They might be in upstate New York, but I'm not sure. So, yeah, I normally do my interview chatting with Di on Instagram, and I interview people who inspire me, teach me, and make me laugh. Paul does all three of them. We've known each other for a million years. We are very, very old. And on that note, I come in with a song, and I came in with Salt and Pepper. What a man, what a man, what a man, because he is a man, duh. And I'm leaving with Sign, He'll Deliver, and I'm yours. Because that's what the Zweben team does. Sign, He'll Deliver, I'm yours. So I wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving. Whatever you're doing, whether you're cooking, you're brining your turkey or you're not. Ooh, baby. I know. You need a broker, Zweben team. And when you're having a rough day, get up and dance, people. And go to Frida Kahlo. If you're in New York, her show is at Brooklyn in Dumbo. Unbelievable show. Frida Kahlo. I'm out. Happy Thanksgiving, people.